Welcome back, folks. Nice to have you back. Cape Rugby TV. Of course, we carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. And as you know, a lot of clubs during the lockdown especially reached out to their past players structure or their old boys structure and got the players involved in a lot of their projects. And of course, since then, we've also seen a lot of clubs making sure that their online presence is in fact quite visible from an old boys and past players structure. And now again we've done quite a few interviews around old boys players, competitions at least that's on the cards. And so a lot of the clubs currently engaging with their past players and bringing them on board. And Durbell Rugby Football Club is of course one of the clubs at least that we've seen very active with keeping their past players engaged and keeping them at the clubs. And joining me on the line is the chairperson of Durbell or Durbanville Rugby Football Club's Old Boys Society, Cobus Roberts. Cobus, nice to have you on the show. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon, JP.
Cobus, first time for us to have you on the show. Well, you're the chairperson of the Durbell Old Boys structure. Have you managed to speak to the Old Boys during the lockdown?
Yeah, we're very active. I think social media has changed the world a lot. So we've got our WhatsApp groups and Facebook pages and stuff like that. And where we were allowed to meet up, we did meet up. I think some places where we weren't allowed to meet up as well, but let's leave that.
So, Cobus, just talk to us a little bit about the structure itself. I mean, how long have you guys been around? What sort of activities do you guys do?
Yeah.
Under normal conditions now, not under lockdown conditions, obviously.
I think Durbell is with the current size, with False Bay, most probably the two oldest sides around down the old boys scene. Our guys started originally as a Sanlam team and a Belleville team, and then when Durbell and Belleville amalgamated in 2000, I think for another about 5-6 years, the two sides went on separately, and then in 2006-07, the two sides merged, and we first called ourselves the Durbell Old Boys. And then we weren't really part of the Durbell Club. It was because it was two separate entities before the time. And I think then we wanted to get the guys, to get the old players, as you say, involved. So we changed the name to Durbell Old Boys specifically, and to get some of the previous players involved. And since then, I think we've been growing steadily, and we've become more representative of past players than what we used to be in the past.
The old boy structure, obviously very important on multiple levels. One of the things that we've seen during the lockdown period and in general engagements with the clubs is how much value the past players bring to any club structure. They bring a lot of wisdom, they bring a lot of guidance and membership, and in some cases even rugby skills. That connection is very important.
I fully agree with you. I believe your old boys should be the heart of your club. I think club rugby has changed a lot over the last couple of years, and I think we're going back to a community-based system where there's a lot of social around the rugby and the guys being supported. I think the days of spending mega bucks at club rugby is over. Nobody can afford it. There's no more businesses that's willing to push in mega bucks in. So you need to make it enjoyable and fun and a place where somebody wants to go and belong to.
That's fantastic. And what about from an activity point of view in terms of actual training and so on? Do you guys have scheduled training practices? We were speaking to Jono last week, and he was telling us that they have scheduled practices, but they don't necessarily have a full management team behind the old boy structures, like strapping and so on.
Yeah, Jono is a bit younger than us. I think he's still new to the old boy system. For us, that's one of our mottos that we hold dearly, is that we will never practice. We've done enough practicing, I think, during our younger years. What we do is we have a social game on Wednesday nights of touchies, which is totally optional. If you feel like it, you come and play. If you don't feel like it, you don't. But afterwards, we have a decent braai and a couple of beers, and I think that's more important than the actual touchies. And that's the closest you'll get to Durbell Oaks to a practice session.
Well, that's fascinating. I mean, it's actually so refreshing to hear that. It's a whole different way of looking at things. I mean, what you're telling me then is that it's all about the social structure. It's about keeping the guys together and having fun.
Yeah, the motto of Golden Oldies internationally is fun, friendship, and fraternity. And I think we like to live that and try and engage that with the other sides that we meet up as well. It must never be too serious. You've paid your dues and you've done your time. Play rugby to enjoy it, and have a cold one afterwards. Be respectful. I think I've been playing Old Boys rugby now since 2008, and I haven't seen one guy being sent off or a punch being thrown. I'm lying. I've seen about 2 punches, but even those punches were funny punches. You know, it was never an ugly thing where guys walked off the field and they weren't happy. We've played hundreds of games, and it's always a fun social event afterwards. Doesn't matter who you're playing. And I've met hundreds of people, and it's wonderful.
But Cobus, of course, when the guys do play against each other, they play for the win.
Yeah, look, I always tell the new guys it's Old Boys rugby. If you don't want to make contact, it's very easy. You pass the ball, you don't keep the ball, and if you don't want to tackle, stand on the wrong side, you know, because you know more or less where play's going. But as soon as they run over the whitewash, they forget all that and they think they're 20 again. There's some major hits. The new guys that come in, they will quickly tell you that it's a lot harder than they expected. But I think that's part of the enjoyment of the game. We don't want sissy rugby. We want to play proper rugby, but at our own pace. If you want to sub, you sub. That's why I've always got rolling subs. So sometimes we play with more substitutions or reserves than we've got people on the field, and it makes it for like a fun game.
Cobus, and if players are watching this right now, or even just fans, how do they sign up? How do they get involved? I'm assuming most folks nowadays are sending folks either to a website or a Facebook page.
Yeah, we've got a Western Cape Golden Oldies Facebook page, and most of the clubs have got their own pages as well. We've got a national body called Sangora, South African National Golden Oldies Rugby Association for a long thing, Sangora, which runs Golden Oldies nationally. But feel free to contact me, and I'll put you in contact with your closest club or wherever you want to go. There's no bias towards one club or another. You play where you want to play. There's no you decide where. We always say in Afrikaans, hang your flag is somewhere. You know, you've got to support somebody.
Cobus, thanks for that. We're going to leave it at that, and we're looking forward to thousands of Old Boys players signing up at Durbell, and of course we remind you guys, stay safe out there. This COVID thing is still rife, and we hope that you guys all stay safe and well.
Yeah, thank you, JP. Thank you for the opportunity, and thanks for the support to the Old Boys structures. We've got, I don't know how much time we've got, but if I can quickly say that we've got about one rugby day every month. We give one club a chance to host, and all the clubs come together. So it's normally like a festive day. And if you want to get involved, I think visiting one of those or attending one of those club meetings, that's a great start and a great place to maybe you guys come with the cameras and come see the Old Boys run one day.
And just a final, Cobus, I'm assuming also that if corporates and sponsors want to get involved, there must be a place to get involved as well.
Yeah, what's different maybe with the Old Boys to compared to the club scene is that we don't have a league per se.
Yeah.
So sponsors in that sense normally goes nationally. But what we try and do is with our rugby days is, or a lot of the clubs do, is that they pick a charity for the day. It's either a blanket drive or a tin food drive, or, you know, we sell raffle tickets and we donate the money. And I've seen great causes, orphanages and old age homes and droogtehulp and all the clubs. That's the one thing that I can really say is the Old Boys, they go back to their communities and they pay back. It's very admirable.
That's fantastic. Cobus, we'll leave it at that then, and then I will change my angle slightly and say to the Old Boys that are from Durbell, they can sign up with you, and all the clubs that are watching right now, they can also sign up with you.
That's fine. Thanks, JP. Have a nice day.
There we go. Thanks, Cobus. There we go, folks. Cobus Roberts, chairperson of the Durbell Old Boys structure, but also chairperson of the Western Cape Old Boys structure. And wow, there's a whole lot of information there that is quite enlightening. So if you're watching right now and you've got a club structure, get your club involved. Go join the Sangora structure, the Western Cape Old Boys structure, and get involved. There you heard it firsthand. They play once a month, and if you and flexible, and well, It really is fantastic. There's a great fraternity there. Folks, we'll take a break. When we come back from the break, we'll carry on talking about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby.